Hello students, in this class we are going to see electrostatics of conductors, dielectrics and capacitors. Now, electrostatics of conductors and dielectrics. Various properties of conductors in electrostatic equilibrium. Actually, let me explain you one thing. An electrical conductor has a large number of mobile charges which are free to move in that material. When there is no external electric field, the free electrons are in continuous random motion in all directions. Okay, if there is no net motion of electrons along any particular direction, it shows that the conductor is in electrostatic equilibrium. See, there are some minus charges and there are some plus charges. In the left side we have minus and in the right side we have plus. If the conductor experiences the electrostatic equilibrium, then there is no net current in the conductor. So, the properties of conductors in electrostatic equilibrium are: first one, the electric field is zero everywhere inside the conductor. You can see electric field is zero because this minus and this plus tends to zero. This is true regardless of whether the conductor is solid or hollow. The second point, there is no net charge inside the conductor. The charge must be reside only on the surface of the conductor. Each and every conductor have their own charges on the surface of the conductors. The electric field outside the conductor is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor and has a magnitude of sigma by epsilon naught, where sigma is the surface charge density at that point. Fourth one, the electrostatic potential has the same value on the surface and inside the conductor. There is no difference between the surface and inner part of the conductor. Then, the electric field is zero everywhere inside the conductor. This is the truth regardless of whether the conductor is solid or hollow. Suppose there is an electric field inside the metal, then there will be a net motion of the mobile charge carriers. It opposes the conductors being in electrostatic equilibrium. Okay, because if this minus opposes the plus and this plus opposes the minus. So the electric field is zero everywhere inside the conductor. Before applying the external electric field, that means electric field from outside the conductor, the free electrons in the conductor are uniformly distributed in the conductor. Now, when an electric field is applied, the free electrons accelerate to the left, causing the left plate to be negatively charged and right plate to be positively charged as shown in the figure. Then once the external electric field is nullified, that means this external electric field is nullified, the time taken by a conductor to reach the electrostatic equilibrium is in the order of 10 to the power minus 16 seconds, which can be taken as almost instantaneous. Now, there is no net charge inside the conductor. That's the main point. There is no net charge inside the conductor. The charges must reside only on the surface of the conductor. We can explain this with the Gaussian surface. A Gaussian surface is drawn inside the conductor. Okay, this is the inside of part of the conductor and a Gaussian surface is drawn. Now, since the electric field is zero, every where inside the conductor the net flux is also zero over the Gaussian surface. And from Gauss laws, this implies that no net charge inside the conductor. There is no net charge inside the conductor. Even if some charge is introduced inside the conductor, it immediately reaches the surface of the conductor. It immediately reaches the surface of the conductor. No charge remain in the middle of the conductor. Then third explanation about the properties. The electric field outside the conductor is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor and has magnitude of sigma by epsilon 0, where sigma is the surface charge density at that point. See here in this conductor, the electric field is along the surface of the conductor. Okay, the electric field is along the surface of the conductor. If the electric field has component which is parallel to the surface of the conductor, then the free electrons on the surface of the conductor would experience the acceleration. This means that the conductor is not in equilibrium. Therefore, the electrostatic equilibrium, the electric field must be perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. This I have shown in the picture, which is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor. Now, we prove that the electric field has a magnitude of sigma by epsilon 0 just outside the conductor. Let us consider a small cylindrical Gaussian surface here. A very small cylindrical and a Gaussian surface. One half of the cylinder is embedded inside the conductor. Okay, one half of the surface is embedded in the conductor. Actually, the electric field is perpendicular to the surface of the conductor here. Since electric field is normal to the surface of the conductor, the curved part of the cylinder is C. In the curved part of the cylinder, the electric field is 0. Hence, the bottom flat part of the Gaussian surface has no electric flux. Therefore, the top flat surface, okay, alone contributes to the electric flux. The electric field is parallel to the area vector and the total charge inside the surface is sigma A. And by applying Gauss law to this, we get EA is equal to sigma A by epsilon naught. And in vector form, E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught into n cap, because we cancel this A and this A. Here n cap represents the unit vector outward normal to the surface of the conductor. Suppose sigma is less than 0, then electric field points inward perpendicular to the surface. I know students, it's pretty hard to understand about this, but if you go through the book materials, then it will be easy. And the last properties, the electrostatic potential has the same value on the surface and inside the conductor. Remember, it doesn't have value, it doesn't vary the value from the surface and inside the conductor. The conductor has no parallel electric component on the surface. That's charges are moved from the surface without doing any work. This is possible only if the electrostatic potential is constant. Okay, it should have some electrostatic potentials to be constant, and all the points on the surface are there. No potential difference between any two points on the surface. Since the electric field is 0 inside the conductor, the potential is the same and the surface of the conductor. Thus, the electrostatic equilibrium, the conductor is always at equipotential. A short note on the electrostatics shield. See, a sensitive electrical instrument which is to be protected from external electrical disturbance is kept inside a cavity. You can see when you see any wire for a current transformation, they used to insulate the wires because they want to shield from the electrostatic distribution. So they used to shield all the wires, and this is called electrostatic shielding. Faraday cage is an instrument used to demonstrate this effect. It is also made up of metal bars. Now I will give another good example for this. See how lightning striking car works. The steel frame of the hard topped vehicle can protect you from lightning, not the tires. If you are not touching the metal, the lightning charges travels around the outside of the vehicle, creating a partial Faraday cage and protecting the occupants inside, because lightning strikes the car frame. Okay. Now, the process of electrostatic induction. What do you mean by this electrostatic induction? And let me explain only one important thing. Induction means intuition. That you know, in Tamil we used to say "Thundudal." Okay, something inducing the electrostatic force of attraction. And what is going to be intuition here? Let's see. In the picture, you can see this is insulated and electrons and protons are mixed here. Because of some external negative force, this positive and negative charges change, and this turns into a positive side, and some negative charges are dropped down to the ground. Okay. Because of negative charges approach, all the positive charges move towards that negative. If sometimes the external agent is a negative, then our positive, then all the negative charges approach towards the positive. This is a example picture for you. Now let's move to the subject. Charging without actual contact is called electrostatic induction. See, sometimes our teachers used to induct you. Is it? Someone motivate you to learn well or to do things good well. Is it? It's also without any actual contact. They used to instinct your nature or your mind to do the good things. Likewise, without any actual contact. See, in this picture, this charge, this plus charge and this minus charge does not have any contact with them. Consider an uncharged neutral conducting sphere. This is an uncharged neutral conducting sphere at rest on an insulating stand. This is an insulated stand. Suppose a negatively charged rod is brought near the conductor without touching it. Okay, the negative charge of the rod repels the electron in the conductor to the outside. As a result, the positive charges are induced near the region of the charged rod, while the negative charges on the farther side. Before introducing the charged rod, the free electrons are distributed uniformly. Okay, without any disturbance, the students will remain unity. But after any disturbance from the external person, then the students used to disturb. Okay, likewise, the charges are remain very maintain a uniformity, but after the external charge it were disturbed. Now the free electrons are disturbed uniformly on the surface of the conductor and the net charge is 0. Once the charged rod is brought near the conductor, the distribution is no longer uniform, with more electrons located on the further side of the rod and positive charges are located closer to the rod, but the total charge here is 0. Now, the conducting sphere is connected to the ground. Okay, the conducting sphere is connected to the ground through a conducting wire. This is called grounding. You all know we used to do this in our home also. Since the ground can always receive any amount of electrons, grounding removes the electrons from the conducting sphere. This grounding removes the electrons from the conducting sphere. Note that the positive charges will not flow to the ground because they are attracted by the negative charges of the rod. Okay, the positive charges never move to the ground, only the negative charges. When the grounding wire is removed from the conductor, the positive charges remain near the charged rod. You can see, even though we removed the wire, the positive charges remain towards the negative charged rod. Now the charged rod is taken away from the conductor. As soon as the charged rod is removed, the positive charge gets distributed uniformly on the surface of the conductor. Here you can see it has been distributed uniformly. See, without any external disturbance, the students and the charges will remain their own position. But if there is any opposite charges disturbed the conductor, then there will be a movement in the positive and the negative charges. And by this process, the neutral conducting sphere becomes positively charged. Thank you, students. See you in the next class.